Hello, Grissom Choir. This is Level 2.1 Music Theory Review. The first concept in Level 2.1 are our ledger line notes. So ledger lines are lines that extend the staff up and down on both the treble and the bass clef. With these lines, we continue to use the alphabet. When going up, that would be A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and so on. Going down would be the alphabet backwards. Just know that when you get to A, you go all the way back to G. Of course, just like with the staff, you don't skip any lines or any spaces. Let's look at this first example on the treble clef. So we have to know what the top line of the treble clef is. That top line is an F. So if that top line is F, this next first space right here, that would be G. This first ledger line would be A, B, C, D, which means that this ledger line and that note would be E. So that note on that ledger line is E. The same thing goes for when you're going backwards, going down in the staff. So this bottom line of the treble clef is E, which means the space right below it has to be the letter right before it, which is D. This would be C. This would be B, which means that this note right here would be A. I'm going to do these next two with you. Top line again is F, so that means that this is G, and this note right here is A. Bottom line is E, which means that this note is D, and this note right here is C. Right now, pause the video, finish out the rest of this treble clef line, play it back, and we'll see if you get them correct. With the top line being F, the bottom line being E, this note right here would have to be D. This note would be G. This note would be D. This note would be G. This note would be B. And the last note would be C. Those would be our ledger lines of the treble clef. The same thing goes for the bass clef. You just have to know that the top line and the bottom line of the bass clef are not the same as the top line and the bottom line of the treble clef. Top line of the bass clef is A. So if that note is A, or that line is A, this first space right here would be B, which means that this note has to be C. I'm going to do the third one, which will be a ledger line below. If the bottom line of the bass clef is G, that space right below that G has to be F. At this point, go ahead and pause the video, finish out the rest of the bass clef, play it back and see if you get them right. This one that we skipped earlier, top line is A, bottom line being G. This note right here has to be E. This note will be B. This note will be G. This note would be E. This note is D. This note is F. This note is C. And this last note would be A. Those are the lines and spaces, ledger line-wise, of the bass clef. Moving on to some texture terms. In general, a texture is the way that something feels. So in music, it is the way that something sounds. A monophonic texture means that we are singing the same rhythm and same pitches throughout the choir. That would be unison singing. Homophonic texture singing means that we are singing the same rhythm, but the different sections, soprano, alto, tenor, bass, are on different parts. That would be your basic 4-part harmony. And polyphonic texture means that the choir has different rhythms throughout the section and different pitches throughout the section, singing independent parts. Again, monophonic, same rhythm, same pitch. Homophonic, same rhythm, different pitch. And polyphonic, different rhythm and different pitches. Our last concept is basic counting with a 4 on the bottom of the time signature. So remember, the top number of the time signature tells us how many beats are in the measure. The bottom number in the time signature tells us what note gets the beat. So this first example is in 2/4 time signature. 2/4 time signature, 2 beats in the measure, quarter note gets the beat. This would be 1, 2, and we have that bar line right there, so we start back over. 1, E, and 2, and another bar line, so this would be 1 and 2. This entire line would be 1, 2, and 1 E and a 2, 1 and 2 off. Going down to the next example. The time signature is C. That C stands for common time, and as singers, the most common time that we will sing in will be 4/4 time signature. So we treat this example as 4/4 time signature. This would be 1, 2, and 3. Remember that the 4th beat in this measure is inside of that half note, so you can either do 3 dash, you could leave it as just a 3, or you could do 3 parentheses 4. Any of those would be correct. The next measure, 1 and 2 and 3, 4, followed by 1, 2, 3, E, and 4. This last example is in 3/4 time signature. Go ahead and pause the video, complete the counts, play it back, and see if you get it correct. 3/4 time signature, this would be 1, 2, 3, and 1, E, and 2, and then 1. That would be 1, 2, 3, and 1 E and a 2, 1 off. And that is everything on Music Theory Level 2.1.